Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the time?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
A tough night for both of LA's baseball teams. The Dodgers lost at home to the New York Mets 6-1. If you want to skip work today, the Dodgers wrap up their 7-game homestand with a day game. They play the Mets again, first pitch at 1:10. The Angels lost at Boston 11-9. The Angels are back on Friday night against Seattle to start a 6-game homestand. The NBA Finals jump off tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder are heavy favorites to beat the Indiana Pacers in the best-of-7 finals. OKC is a 9.5-point favorite to win Game 1. It's tough not to look at OKC as the more dominant team. They won 68 games in the regular season and are 12-4 in the playoffs. A word of caution, do not sleep on the Pacers. Early in the season, the Pacers were 10-15 and did not look like a playoff contender. Look where they are today. Tip-off time tonight is 5:30 on ABC. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
LA's newest soul food restaurant is getting spectacular reviews.
Great place with amazing food. The Sunday champagne brunch is fabulous. I saw the place on IG. We tried it for lunch. We were blown away by the food and the service. The restaurant has an inviting atmosphere and a dynamic vibe.
Over the years, Lionel has catered most major black events in Los Angeles, including all of our KBLA Talk 1580 gatherings. But now he has his own spot, Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine, and you need to check it out at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles. Oxtails, baked or fried chicken, meatloaf, turkey chops, pork chops, catfish, short ribs, and all the fixins. Collard greens, mac and cheese, yams, red beans, black-eyed peas, and more. And of course, hot water cornbread, satisfying drinks, and delicious desserts. Lionel's is a great place for brunch, lunch, or dinner. If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for you, because we've got your black. So, head on over to Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles and tell Lionel you heard about it on KBLA Talk 1580.
Celebrating, have been celebrating the music of Curtis Mayfield all 3 hours of our program today. June is Black Music Month, as you know, and so we choose a different artist every day and weave in their music in and out of these amazing conversations with our guests. And so today we have been rocking Curtis Mayfield all 3 hours, and he sounds awfully good. In this hour, as promised, a career conversation with Oscar-winning screenwriter and co-host of the Doc Talk podcast, John Ridley. It has been too long, my friend. How are you, John Ridley?
I'm very good, sir. How are you holding up?
Man, if I complained, I'd be an ingrate. I am doing well, and always delighted to be in conversation with you. So thank you for this time. There's a lot to talk about in this hour. As I said, it's sort of a career conversation because you've done so much. Let me start with this. I mentioned of course, the Doc Talk podcast. What's keeping you busy these days, for starters? And I'll jump from there, sir.
Well, I appreciate you mentioning Doc Talk. It's something that I started with my partner, Matt Carey, who's the documentary editor at Deadline. For the few people who may not know what Deadline is, it is one of the most essential daily readings for folks here in Hollywood. And for me, sir, I've always had an interest in what's going on, the here and now, what's happening in society, what's happening in history, how the present is informed by the past. And to me, when we see journalism under assault, when we see arts programs being cut, to be able to elevate storytellers who are self-starters, as most documentarians are, people who are unafraid to go wherever, whether it's physically, geographically, emotionally, in terms of the content that they're doing, to me, trying to just shine a light on the folks who are doing all of us a service by telling stories. That's what's keeping me most busy. The other thing that I would say is keeping me very busy, and this is a little bit more of something that is a little positive and upbeat. Mm-hmm. Through our No Studios, which is an organization I run out of Milwaukee, we do a dance fest every year, and we really try to bring outstanding dance companies together for one evening of joy and celebration. This year, our dance fest is going to be headlined by the Alvin Ailey Company.
Ooh.
It's going to be August 2nd in Milwaukee. Tickets are on sale now, so please look for that. Google it up, as our former President Bush used to say. But those are things, to me, Mr. Smiley, I've had the opportunity to do so much work in so many spaces, and I've been lucky. I mean, there's no other way to say it, that people have, my peers have recognized what I've done, audiences recognized. But I think I'm at that point now that I get as much joy, and honestly maybe more joy, in celebrating, uplifting, excavating, just shining a light on what other people are doing and the importance of their work.
Yeah. Tell me why that matters. No naivete in asking that. I celebrate that, but tell me why that matters to you and for you, particularly at this point as you put it in your life. Leveling up and lifting up what other folk are doing.
I kind of, when folks ask me that, and it's a great question. It's not. I don't know that you have the capacity to ask a naive question. They're emotional and probative.
Yeah.
But I look at, this is how I compare it. You're young and you have a special holiday, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and it's just wonderful. It's magical. You people give you gifts. They celebrate. Everything about it is wonderful. You become a young adult, and sometimes those holidays, they're more a burden than a blessing, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, I'm just starting a job, but my family wants me to come home. I can't afford it. Mm-hmm. I can't afford gifts. Maybe there's something going on in my family. One part of my family wants me here. Another part wants me there. And it's just like a lot. And then you get to this third phase. And so I look at it like Hollywood. You're young in Hollywood. You're young in your business, whatever it is. And everything's exciting to you because it's new, right?
Yeah.
And it's great. And you're starting to live your dream. Then you get to a point where it's no longer beginner's luck. People don't necessarily cut you a break because you're younger and you're learning. And it's all encompassing. You're working not just for yourself. Maybe you started a family. Maybe you're at a point now where you spend a little money and you realize, okay, I got to earn to spend. Mm-hmm. And you're a little behind it, and it's hard and it's tough. And then if you're fortunate, you get to a point in your life, in your career, where you have that confidence in what you're doing. And everything is a little bit old hat, and there's a groove and a rhythm. And you realize you have a knowledge, and it's not, you've built your career, and it's about building it for other people or younger people or people breaking in or people never broke in. So that's my third phase in the holiday analogy. When I was older and you have kids, and all of a sudden you realize, okay, this holiday, it's not about me. It's about making this day or this time period special, and not just through giving gifts, through sharing experiences, sharing story, family coming together, those in-laws that used to annoy you, you realize, oh, they're part of my family now. So I'm going to make it wonderful for them. My parents are both still alive. The holidays I spend with them now, and how I try to make it about them and not about me, it is more special. So that's the way I look at it. And to your question, and again, not at all naive, very probative, that's what changes for me is that I say this, I hope with the requisite humility, I've gotten pretty much everything I can get out of Hollywood, you know, and whatever else I get is going to be wonderful. It's going to be great, but it's more of the same.
I want to.
And when you do things, go ahead, sir.
No, but you do things. Finish your thought. When you do things, finish that sentence. When you do things.
Yeah, when you do things for other people, and I don't mean this like in some, you know, fake altruistic thing. Oh, look what I'm doing for other people.
Right.
But you see that joy that you're like, thank you for reminding me.
Oh yeah.
Of why what I do is special.
Yep. I was just saying this.
And you need that to survive. Yeah.
No, I was saying to some folk the other day, John, that there's a distinct difference between joy and happiness. And the goal ultimately is to live a joyful life. And for me and for John Ridley, I'm hearing now, and for others listening around the country, I think many of us find joy in loving and serving other people. That's the greatest joy of my life. I sit behind this desk every day, not to enrich myself. You don't get rich on talk radio these days, at least not the space that I occupy. But I find joy in loving and serving other people. That's where the real joy is. That's the sweet spot for me, and I'm simpatico in that, I think, with John Ridley. John has said a few things I want to, speaking of being probative, he said a few things that I want to probe when we come forward. This notion that he's gotten most everything out of Hollywood, and whatever he gets is more of the same. I got some great friends from Milwaukee. Eric Benet is from Milwaukee. My dear departed friend Al Jarreau is from Milwaukee. John Ridley is from Milwaukee. We'll talk about that part of growing up in Milwaukee. Great more to cover in this career conversation with the Academy Award winner for Best Adapted Screenplay for the film 12 Years a Slave in 2014. It's John Ridley on Tavis Smiley.
The extreme supreme of all cannibals, the most weighty and two-faced of all animals. Get down! Get down!
From the Mert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text TIGER to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text TIGER to 321-321. That's TIGER to 321-321.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare, and I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-857-8866. 800-857-8866. 800-857-8866.
Freedom is an endless meeting, so let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Future shock.
I'm Tavis Smiley. That's Curtis Mayfield, of course. We are celebrating the music of Curtis Mayfield all 3 hours of our show today. Why? Because June is Black Music Month, and so we're covering all the genres. We'll get to gospel and jazz and pop and hip-hop and folk. We'll do it all this month. So many amazing African-American artists. We just choose one a day, so we can't cover all of them, obviously, nowhere near it. But we celebrate the contributions, the grand and vast contributions of black people and their music to the soundtrack of our lives, and none greater than Chicago's own Curtis Mayfield. So he's our artist in residence today, if I can put it that way. We are pleased to be in conversation, a career conversation, and what a career it has been, ongoing, of course, for John Ridley, Oscar-winning screenwriter, co-host of a podcast now called Doc Talk. As I mentioned a moment ago, John, and we, of course, all your fans know this, won the Academy Award for the adapted screenplay for the film 12 Years a Slave. I don't know when the last time you saw that movie was. I saw it maybe a year ago. I only raise that because I'm always fascinated by my friends, my artistic friends, in conversations like these, when I get a chance to ask whether or not they think all the years later that their work holds up, or how they view the work now differently than they did then. I talked to so many, speaking of great music artists, talked to so many artists who did a song, wrote a song, performed the song 30, 40 years ago, and the song has different meaning for them now. They see it differently. Sometimes they don't want to perform a song. Prince was like that, my dear friend Prince. Some stuff he didn't want to do anymore. So artists have a way of viewing their work in real time and in hindsight. So what do you think of the work of 12 Years a Slave all these years later?
That's a great question. I'm going to answer it, but real quick, because I want to jump on. First of all, bless you for doing a black artist today in Black Music Month. And as you say, you know, none of us are going to get through all the amazing artists of color who existed. But real quick with Curtis, you probably have already played it. If you haven't, if there's time, if you got amazing people working with you, The Makings of You off his live album is one of the best. And you talk about a man serenading his partner with love. That's just a song. To me, it's like Curtis, but a different kind of Curtis. So I just put that out there. And for everyone who's digging Curtis today, if you and your team don't get a chance to play it, everyone should go find it. It's beautiful. The Makings of You.
Hey, before you answer my question, when John Ridley speaks, Tavis listens. More to the point, when John Ridley speaks, Miles Lowe, my board op, listens. So I can assure you that you're going to hear that track before this hour is up. But thank you for the recommendation, John Ridley. Go ahead, my friend.
I know you got the best people around you, sir. We're all only as good as the great people around us.
That's correct.
You ask a question, and I kind of kid on the square, but I think my work is shit, the moment I'm done with it. Forgive me for the strong language. So I can't look back at anything. It's just, all I see is my mistakes. All I see is everything I did wrong. All I see is a lack of growth. All I see is, it's hard. And I genuinely, I saw 12 Years when it was in its cuts, when its edits, when it came out, and I haven't looked at it since the last time I saw it in 2014, and I don't think I can. I don't think I can wrap my head around what, I'm 10 years later, I'm just beginning to honestly sort of try to get a sense of what the last 10 years even meant. And it's been wonderful. It's been special. Some of it is just like, oh, it was a thing that happened.
Yeah.
Some of it is like, I don't want that, as great as it was, to be the only thing that defines me. It's just weird. And it's like something that happened to another guy at another time in another place. And I think I might have been there, and I sort of remember it.
Yeah.
I met Sidney Poitier that night.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to know Michael B. Jordan, and I reconnected with that night. My wife reminds me of stuff like that, and I'm not kidding you, sir. I'm like, wait, what, that happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a weird thing that happened to somebody that I think that I know, and I was nearby when it went down.
You said 2 or 3 things I want to get. I want to probe right quick here. I start with this. First of all, you and I are in lockstep when it comes to not reviewing work. I'm the same way. Yeah. I've written a bunch of books, and obviously over the course of my 30-plus year broadcast career, I've been fortunate to interview pretty much everybody, including my friend Sidney Poitier, who you mentioned a moment ago. But it's hard for me to look back on it because I see the same thing. I see a lack of growth. I see the mistakes. What I could have done better. I should never have worn that tie. So I see. Right. I see all kind of things, and so I'm like you. I have a hard time looking back at my work. I just try to be forward facing. So one, we are in agreement in that regard. Number one, but number two, since you mentioned you just now trying to come to terms with what the last 10 years meant, this is a question I've asked of others, but not of John Ridley. But there is this notion, I think, that those of us inside of Hollywood and certainly outside of Hollywood have, that when an African American wins an Academy Award, whatever the category is, that it fundamentally changes their life. That is the pinnacle of success, most believe, when it comes to doing anything in Hollywood, that they bestow upon you an Academy Award. So to your point, I'm just going to follow you, since you mentioned that you're just now trying to come to terms with what the last 10 years have meant. Did winning that gold statue dramatically impact your life in any way? I give you as much canvas as you need to paint.
Yeah, well, and I'm going to say this, and I hope this, the way that it most fundamentally changed my life, honestly, was economically.
Right.
And I was lucky before that. I was doing well. I had a nice life. It's not like I was this, struggling artist who couldn't get anything done. But, the difference between having that and not having that is astronomical. It really is. The other big difference, I think, in my life, and I think even, now 10 years later, I would say, 7 years after, 8 years after, I started to realize, I've had friends that I've known and haven't seen in a while who said, you're a lot more calm now. You're a lot more relaxed now. And I think, and I'm guessing you can probably relate to this, and probably in a different way, because your level of success is even, the prominence, like you said, the interviews you've done, the things that you've had to carve out, that takes a requisite ego, and that takes a drive that I don't want to say other folks don't have, but, some folks have it, some folks don't. Some folks, there's a certain insanity. I don't think saying, hey, I'm going to be a lawyer and be a really good lawyer and be a partner in a firm, that's not an insane dream. I'm going to be a doctor and I want to help people. My dad was a doctor. He helped people. He was one of the best ever, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. And it was tough. You talk about a black man who, went to medical school in the 50s. So that's a hard dream, but it's not an impossible dream. Or an intangible. I'm going to go to Hollywood and win an Oscar. I don't care if you're black, white, whatever. That's stupid. And then you add, Asian, you add Hispanic, you add female.
Yeah.
It's that much harder. But it's a weird dream. So you do that and you accomplish it and you kind of go, okay, well, I did it. And what else is there? And again, I don't mean that in a bad way or a way like I don't appreciate what it goes, but you go, I climbed this mountain and all there is more mountain. So rather than just worry about climbing and climbing and climbing, when I came out here, in the 90s, there were, the number of black people in critical decision-making positions, you could put us in an elevator.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can still put us in a service elevator. So we've gone from like a passenger elevator to a service elevator. Still aren't enough people. But you come with a drive where it's like, yeah, it's about me, but it's not just about me.
Yeah.
Because if I can become a showrunner, I can hire people who both look like me and don't look like me.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm a showrunner, I can get a writer's room of people who look like me and don't look like me.
Yeah.
And that's the key. So you do these things, you fight these fights, you get where you're going to go, and then you realize, okay, it's really, really nice, but it is the same.
Yeah.
And rather than just fight and climb, I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the view. And I think that's the difference from 10 years ago, is I'm happy to enjoy the view.
No, I love that. I enjoy that. That's why he's a great screenwriter, right? He knows how to turn a phrase. I'm just going to enjoy the view. To your point, though, about you climb these mountains and you realize when you get to the top, there are just more mountains to climb. I totally get that. There's a line, speaking of great lines, it's a broadcast news. There's a line in that movie, that film that says, the question is, what do you do when your life exceeds your dreams? I mean, what do you do when your life exceeds your dreams? And, of course, in my life, I've learned that you just dream bigger dreams. But I take your point. I take your point about, you climb a mountain and you just realize there are more mountains to climb. I go back to that for this particular reason. And I'm going to be impolitic. I warn you, John Ridley, my friend. I'm going to be impolitic in the question I'm about to ask now. But let me just say this. I'll frame it this way. I have never, you mentioned, Sidney Poitier and there are all kind of other greats who we can mention in this conversation that I've had the honor of my career to talk to interview, to befriend. I feel very fortunate in that regard. But without calling names, I have never, and I do mean never, talked to a single African American. This may be true across the board, but certainly for African Americans. I don't care what field, what lane they were in when it comes to Hollywood. I've never said this before publicly. It just occurs to me to say it to you now. I've never talked to any person who was a long distance runner in this business of Hollywood who did not honestly tell me in one way, shape, or form that after a period of time, even as it is your work, it is your witness, it is your calling, it is your avocation, but not a single Negro have I ever talked to who did not in some way confess to me that after a while, it is exasperating and it is exhausting. It's exasperating, it's exhausting. I could add other words to that. Does that comment resonate with you?
Yeah, I mean, and I think you make a good point because it is hard for everyone. But the moment you're black, the moment you're a black female, if you were a black, female LGBTQ, it's exponentially harder. And the reality is it better here in Hollywood than it was when I arrived in the 90s? Yes, but it's not markedly better. UCLA does an employment report every year.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're black, you get less money. First, you get less opportunities. But black showrunners typically work on shows where the budgets are less. Only out of every 10 writers working on a film, and this is a number from last year, 1.3 of them are black. Now, obviously, because it's statistics, there aren't 0.3 black people working. But if you're a black writer who wants to write films and you know me, chances are I'm working and you're not. So when the numbers don't, it's not like, oh, there's this major change and things are different and things are better. They're not. They're better for me. Are they better for a young black kid coming up? Maybe a little, but not a lot. So yeah, I get it. Other black people, other people from traditionally marginalized communities are like, I'm tired.
Yeah,
I'm tired of this.
That's it.
So I think what you're saying is correct.
Yeah.
I think it, like I said, I can't pretend it's not tough for everybody, but yeah, I mean, the reality is, if you're a white dude, do you maybe get more chances and more failures? Of course.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to blame the individual white dude, but is the system a little cooked? Of course it is.
No, it is definitely cooked. No question.
It is.
No question about it.
And all these budget, and let me just add this real quick.
Sure.
You see all these budget cuts for arts funding.
Yep.
Who's getting hit the hardest? It's black and brown communities, the people who need that funding to help them learn their craft, to get a foot in the door, or so that they can shine. So it's only going to get harder.
Nope, I get it.
Going forward.
When John really says it's a little cooked, that is a charitable and generous read. I ain't mad at him. It's more than a little cooked, but I take his point. I mentioned Milwaukee earlier. When we come forward, I want to go back to Milwaukee. As I mentioned, some great folks, some great artists, including John Ridley from Milwaukee. I think of Eric Benet. I terribly miss my dear friend Al Jarreau. So we'll talk about what it was like coming up in Milwaukee in this career conversation. There's a great deal more to cover. discover with John Ridley, Academy Award winner, when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. New York City's Black Mayor Eric Adams cut the ribbon today on the Arches, a revitalized public space under the Brooklyn Bridge.
You look at those who walk across the bridge every day. Hundreds of thousands of people come here, and now they're going to see how they can walk across and enjoy a beautiful park.
Over 2 acres just opened with a $50 million investment pledged to keep improving the historic site. The Supreme Court unanimously revived a case from an Ohio woman who says she was discriminated against at work for being straight. The ruling could make it easier for majority group members to bring bias claims in some U.S. regions. And the first trailer for Wicked Part 2 for Good is here. The sequel dives into a second act of the hit Broadway musical set before and after Dorothy's arrival in Oz. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo and the star-studded cast return this November. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Is this the tackle? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
A tough night for both of LA's baseball teams. The Dodgers lost at home to the New York Mets 6-1. If you want to skip work today, the Dodgers wrap up their 7-game homestand with a day game. They play the Mets again, first pitch at 1:10. The Angels lost at Boston 11-9. The Angels are back on Friday night against Seattle to start a 6-game homestand. The NBA Finals jump off tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder are heavy favorites to beat the Indiana Pacers in the best-of-7 finals. OKC is a 9.5-point favorite to win Game 1. It's tough not to look at OKC as the more dominant team. They won 68 games in the regular season and are 12-4 in the playoffs. A word of caution, do not sleep on the Pacers. Early in the season, the Pacers were 10-15 and did not look like a playoff contender. Look where they are today. Tip-off time tonight is 5:30 on ABC. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again. Holla.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There'll be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are two big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA.
We love you. Love you.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in,
but we're okay with that.
You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
Add a little sugar, honeysuckle, and a great big expression of happiness. Boy, you couldn't miss. With a dozen roses, such would astound you. The joy of children laughing around you. These are the makings of you. It is true, the makings of you. The righteous way to go, little one would know or believe if I told them so. You're second to none. The love of all mankind should reflect some sign of these words I've tried to recite. They are close but not quite. Almost impossible to do, reciting the makings of you.
So John Ridley is not just an Academy Award-winning recipient, screenplay, adapted screenplay for the film 12 Years a Slave. Not just an Oscar winner, he's also the music director for the Tavis Smiley Show, because it was John Ridley who suggested that we had to weave this in as we celebrate June, Black Music Month. Every day on this program, you know how we do it. We choose a different artist of the day. Today's artist is Curtis Mayfield, as you can tell, and John requested that we squeeze this in. You feeling better now, John Ridley?
I do. Again, I got to shout out your team because that they could get it up. And I'm sorry, this is old school 70s. I'm sorry, a man in love with a woman, and this is just like sweaty, small club serenading. This is amazing. I love it.
That's why he's a screenplay writer, right? He's a screenwriter. Sweaty. What'd you say? Sweaty, small.
Sweaty, small club. You can just see him in a little club serenading someone in the audience, and you just hear the brothers and sisters. You know, he just does that first line, add a little sugar. People are already off.
Yeah.
I mean, No disrespect to music now, and you kids, and you're ticking and you're talking, but that's how you listen to music, okay? That's how you listen to music.
I love it. You're ticking and you're talking. A sweaty, small club serenading. He ran that alliteration together. That, again, is why he's an Academy Award winner. I'm just a lowly talk show host, but nobody can turn a phrase quite like John Ridley. I love it. So, speaking of the makings of you, tell me about Milwaukee. I mentioned earlier that I got some good friends from Milwaukee. I can't call all their names, but as I said, Eric Benet, of course, is a friend of mine. But Al Jarreau is my dear friend and brother. I had the honor of being asked to speak to eulogize him at his service, and so I miss Al Jarreau tremendously. I may make one of these days Al Jarreau music all day. We shall see. But just talk to me about your humble Milwaukee beginnings.
Well, just even mentioning those couple of names, when people come from Milwaukee and there's prominence, look, wonderful people can come from anywhere. I've spent most of my adult life in either New York or L.A., and there's all kinds of people who've really done well and gained prominence, but all of us get lost in the shuffle of the big cities. When people come from a place like Milwaukee, 600,000 people in that city, we all feel good. And we all, I remember Al Jarreau when he was really breaking and crossed over from just being an amazing artist of color to an artist that everybody just loved music and his smoothness. And you're like, okay, he's everyone's, but he's ours, right? Same with Eric Benet. Same with, the people who come from this place. And I've certainly felt that way. You go back there and people, they appreciate what you've done in a way that it's really familial. It's like your family appreciates you. And there's something coming from a place, Milwaukee is often referred to there as small-walkie, right? Because everybody knows each other. Everybody runs into each other. Everybody talks about each other. We talk about each other well. We gossip about each other. And there's something really nice about that. And so for me to go back there, I started this arts organization there called No Studios, and I really wanted to come to a place where we could foster art and artists. We've had an artist grant program. We've given away over $100,000 to artists, no strings attached. We have a social justice summit that we do. We are doing our dance fest, again, as I mentioned. And I'll plug again, thank you for the space, August 2nd in Milwaukee at the Peck Pavilion, a dance fest. So to me, to be in a space where sometimes you feel like, hey, we're just kids. We got a friend. They got a barn. Somebody's got costumes. Let's put on a show. It's like the old Andy Hardy movies. There's something really special about coming from a place where the things you do, they're really special to everyone. And I could do it in New York. I love New York. And it would be special, but we'd be one of 10,000 folks who are organizing, doing things for the arts, which is great. You can never have enough. But there's also something really wonderful about going back to the place where you're from. Going back to a place, it's not perfect, but it is a place that really informed who one is, who I am. And to go and to try to be part of that fabric and say, thank you for all you've done for me. I want to do some things, and I want to make sure the things that we do are broad-based. Milwaukee is a great city, but it is, by true metrics, the most segregated city in America right now, right this second. So I love the place. I have, spaces where I see and feel those challenges. And I feel like I have a responsibility to try to do everything I can to bring people together, because that's what art has always been to me, is like bring people together. And when in that room, when you're in a small club with Curtis Mayfield, all you know is how to feel good. And to me, that's what art is about, is bringing people together and saying, forget about what separates you. Enjoy this moment, this performance, what's going on, and then realize to your mutual enjoyment, start those conversations about everything else from there.
Well, you'll be happy to know, given that you are from Milwaukee, that this program is nationally syndicated. You're being heard right now in Milwaukee, one of my favorite stations, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM, The Voice. So they're listening to you right now in your hometown of Milwaukee, courtesy of WNOV, and I'm honored that they're one of the affiliates that carries this program. You mentioned a couple times now this event you're doing in August, this dance thing, which I'm excited about. How often do you get back home to Milwaukee these days?
Both my parents and through the grace of God, Tavis, Dad just turned 90.
Wow.
I mean, April is his birthday. Just turned 90. My mom is right behind him. She's 89.
Yeah.
My dad, I mentioned he was a doctor. He was just honored by the Wisconsin Medical Society as a lifetime superhero in the field of medicine. So myself, my two sisters, our spouses, we all got together. We got a party bus. We went from Milwaukee to Madison, got this award from my dad, my dad. And, you know, you talk about me and what I do. Tavis, I'm nobody compared to my parents.
Yeah.
What they have done, Dad was in the Air Force. I don't want to oversell his service. He was very fortunate. He didn't get deployed in the 1960s, but he volunteered. He enlisted in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Right. He was a doctor in the Air Force in the 60s. Not a lot of black men as doctors.
Yeah.
My mother, a teacher, taught kids with learning disabilities, special needs kids, back when we as a society weren't as attuned to how all kids deserve an education that is qualified for their needs.
Yeah.
She was doing that. So I'm again, I will say a million times, I'm the luckiest man in Hollywood.
No.
I've certainly worked hard, but hard work doesn't always equate success. So I got to look at the good fortune that came my way, but it's nothing compared to what my parents have done. So I get back there as much as I can just to be around them, help them, take care of them, and do for them what they've done for me, what they've done for my sisters, and what they've done for the community.
No, you and I here again are in agreement. I don't believe that we are our parents. We're certainly not our grandparents. We're not even our parents. And we've been blessed in a variety of ways, but we are not our parents. We're not our grandparents, and so we are in agreement on that. And I'm just fascinated. I didn't realize your dad was in the Air Force. My dad was in the Air Force. My dad was in the Air Force as well. I lost my dad last year. I miss him dearly, and you are blessed to still have both of your parents, your father at 90, your mother at 89. It's a blessing to still have your parents in the world. But I love the frame that you're in as you celebrate them. You recognize that they planted the trees, and we're just sitting in the shade. More with John Ridley. More with John Ridley when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
My woman's handed making him sick. When I come, there won't be nothing to it. Give us some of all the hard pain. Make her aching body call for my name. My woman know my passion.
From California to the Carolinas, everybody's listening to Tavis. More when we come forward.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
BET and PBS, the Tom Joyner Morning Show, and NPR, the cover of Jet and the cover of Time. #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list, 20 honorary doctorate degrees, a dozen NAACP Image Awards, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. From talk shows to talk radio, nobody's ever done it better. You like that? This is Tavis Smiley.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
you, man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text EQUAL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text EQUAL to 321-321. That's EQUAL to 321-321.
He's a paradigm pioneer and the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
Tavis Smiley and John Ridley. As I said, I'm always honored to be in conversation with John Ridley, an Oscar-winning screenwriter, co-host of the Doc Talk podcast, The Pride of Milwaukee. Always, again, thrilled to have a conversation with him. So I want to just mention a couple of projects. My time is getting tight, and there are a couple of projects that John has done. We already talked about, of course, 12 Years a Slave, and John can't look back on his stuff. He can't look back on it, but he can certainly listen to the sound of it. And I so enjoyed this project, Shirley. Regina killed it. Regina just slayed this thing. And I just want John just to listen to this, and I want to ask a quick question about that as we move forward. Give it to me, Miles.
I have something I want to tell you. I am running for president.
Of the United States? Holy.
I'm paving the road for a lot of other people looking like me to get elected.
Brooklyn's first black representative.
You're about to make history.
You want to be president? You ain't no man.
Maybe we should find your mother. All you got is your one vote.
You sound just like every other politician.
Do I look like every other politician?
Truly, you can't win.
And why can't I win? I have an opportunity to make a difference.
This isn't a campaign. It's a joke. The only thing anybody's gonna remember is that there were a bunch of black folks who made fools of themselves.
See too much suffering. And I don't know how to not try.
We're living it proud.
I don't think I'm special. I just want to remind people what's possible.
We need something that's going to make some noise.
The Black Panthers and Shirley Chisholm. It's like thunder and lightning. I'm going to force all the politicians to be held accountable.
You're gonna do all that. School teacher from Brooklyn.
Harriet was just a slave. Rosa was just a domestic. What is it you do for a living again?
I love that Shirley project starring one Regina King. The screenwriter and director on that project was one John Ridley. A question for him about that when we come forward in our remaining moments with John Ridley on Tavis Smiley.
This is getting good.
Yeah, man.
Tavis Smiley continues when we come forward.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions.
The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cow Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and John Ridley. I've only got 4 minutes left with John, and I always enjoy our conversations. John, you said earlier in this conversation, looking back on your career, that you don't look back on your work. But can I just tell you, I really, really appreciate that Shirley project. I thought I knew Shirley Chisholm rather well, and I think I do. But even watching that film, I learned some stuff. I was reminded of some stuff. So you killed it as screenwriter and director, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yep. I was reading, what was I reading the other day? About this new, is it Caves of Steel? Is that right? Caves of Steel you're working on?
Caves of Steel.
Yeah.
Yes,
what, can you say anything about that, this new project?
I let me say this real quick, and I know your time is short, but I want to give you a big thank you, sir, for the things that you're doing. It's wonderful to reconnect you. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Your platform is like no other. Caves of Steel is, I'm very excited about that. We're still in, I finished a script. We're still in trying to figure, when I say we, the studio is still trying to figure out, it's a tough market out there economically. How you make a film that has the opportunity to reach a lot of people, but do it at a price point that makes sense for the studios. To me, what I'm excited about is that this is going to be a sci-fi film, and it will certainly, I can never make promises, even in Hollywood, but as you would imagine, sir, my intent is to have people of color front and center in this film. So to be able to, that's what excites me now, is shifting a little bit. I've done 10 years, from 12 Years a Slave to Shirley. Important stories that have impact, stories when I get a compliment from someone like you, it's meaningful. But I do want to shift a little bit and do things that aren't necessarily considered up front to be as quote-unquote serious.
Yeah.
But to me, when you have people of color in places that aren't expected, the impact is as powerful as anything else that you could do.
No, I was just about to say that it's a beautiful thing. When you see black folk in the future, when you see black folk in sci-fi. I've told the story many times. I ain't got time to go into detail now, but Nichelle Nichols of Star Trek fame was pondering leaving that program, and she literally one day bumped into Dr. King, as in MLK. Bumped into Dr. King, and she said to him that he told her how much he liked the show. And she said, well, I'm thinking about leaving the show. And Dr. King went into overdrive, telling her all the reasons she could not leave Star Trek, how he watched it, his kids enjoyed it, and what it meant for black folk to see themselves in the future. Nichelle Nichols rethought that decision, went back to work on Monday and told Gene Roddenberry, I'm still here. And the rest is history, as they say. But even Dr. King understood the value of us being in sci-fi and being in places that represent what the future might appear to be or look like. So I'm glad you are committed to that, but that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. So I look forward to Caves of Steel whenever it comes around. For now, as I always do, I celebrate the work and witness. And for John Ridley, I mean that sincerely. It is a work and witness, and I'm always honored to be in conversation with you. Mention your August event one more time right quick, John Ridley.
Dance Fest, Pack Pavilion, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, August 2nd. Please go find some tickets. We'd love to see you there.
John, I appreciate you, man. All the best to you, my friend. Thank you for this great hour.
Absolutely, sir. Anytime. I'm your man. Thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you and appreciate this conversation. Tomorrow's Friday? So tomorrow, that means the best of Tavis, Smiley. Some amazing conversations this week. It gets getting harder and harder every week to figure out what 3 hours we're going to reprise on Friday that you might have missed throughout the week. Going to be another tough decision this week. I'm glad I got a team to help me figure out what we're going to bring you tomorrow on the best of Tavis, Smiley. Until then, thanks for tuning in. And as always, keep the faith.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. New York City's Black Mayor Eric Adams cut the ribbon today on the arches, a revitalized public space under the Brooklyn Bridge.
You look at those who walk across the bridge every day. Hundreds of thousands of people come here, and now they're going to see how they can walk across and enjoy a beautiful park.
Over 2 acres just opened with a $50 million